What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I had a viewer question on acquiring land for a homestead, and I thought that's a really good question. Let's dive into that. There's a couple different methods. The easiest and most sure way to buy land is a cash deal. Now, I know most people are not going to be in that position where they're just going to go ahead and buy their land, outright. So I've got a couple other scenarios, and this is how I did it. I started out by renting. I found a 2-acre piece of land. It was actually like 10-acre parcel. I rented an acre from the guy. And then as my business grew, I actually ended up renting 2 acres and I started to farm it. It wasn't a huge operation, but it was like I started with my bamboo nursery there. I started with, it was in a great location, so I would get asphalt millings from road construction projects. I'd get like all sorts of stuff from like demolition type of projects, like landscape demolition stuff, rocks. And I used it as like a supply yard. And the rent was really affordable. It was like $600 a month or something like that. And it worked out really well. I rented that place for like 3 or 4 years. Saved up, found a piece of land, and I ended up buying that land cash like in 18 or 19. However, you can finance land, but typically you should be planning on a larger down payment than a house. And this is kind of like a little hack for some of you guys. If you're going to finance land, there are companies that will do it, but you need to be planning on like at least a traditional 20% down to make that happen. However, if it has a house on it or any type of structure, most mortgage companies will loan against that, and then you qualify for traditional mortgage rates. Maybe you can put down 10%. In the case of a first-time home buyer, sometimes you can put down 3.5%, which is basically nothing. And in fact, if you're like ex-military, your current military, sometimes you can get a VA loan. The inspection process on a house will be a lot more strict, and it will need to have a house on it. But sometimes you can get a 0% down, which is, that's a nice incentive. So there are like those two ways, and then there is like the lease to own, which I think anyone can do. And so if you go out and you find something and it's part of a larger tract perhaps, or an old farmer has it, or maybe the kids inherited it, or it's just unused land, you go out and you drive, you can pull the tax records on those parcels and reach out to those owners. Actually, one of my buddies had reached out to the owner that previously owned the land that we had bought, and it was funny because we were talking. He's like, dude, let me show you the emails. He had reached out to them like 3 years prior when he was out looking for land. He had found the parcel, walked it, no one had touched it, and he had started just writing emails and just getting their contact information. If you find someone who owns the parcel you want and they're not considering selling or something like that, you can possibly approach them and be like, hey, I'd like to lease to own this thing. Give them like a monthly or annual lease, and then with like a buyout agreement. And they may even owner finance you. So if you're really trying to start a homestead or start a small farming operation, and I'm super bullish on all the above in that space. I just think that as inflation continues to rip, it's going to be a good decade to be a farmer. And so you can definitely go out and find people that will finance you or do you a lease to own deal, or any of the above. And sometimes the way those deals work is you throw down a down payment on it just to lock it in. Maybe you'll throw down like 10%. You'll lease the thing from them for a couple $100 a month. You'll have like a 5-year balloon payment. So that gives you time to get your finances in order, and then you pay it off at that point in time. Or you go longer term. I mean, the cool thing about owner financing is it's completely up to you. It's up to you and what you can get someone to agree on. There are a couple of things to think through when you go to buy land. They always say in real estate, it's about location, location, location. That is totally true. My buddy has 4 acres to my south, about 45 minutes to an hour south of me. His location, he scooped up for 1/10 the price that we paid, a little bit more than 1/10, but about 1/10. But his location is super, super remote, on dirt roads, no electrical utility to it, etc. And that's why the price is so low. The downside to it is, as you're building, for example, I use a lot of wood chips. They come to me for free at this point in time from tree companies, and I'm using those wood chips to build like 2-foot high like soil, essentially. Like I'm building, I'm trying to plant out like 3 acres of our 6, and then the other 3 acres will be like grassland, and I'll allow like maybe 2 cows or so and a bunch of chickens to graze it out. And it'll be like my little 6-acre food forest little thing. I've got some land around it that butts up to it that hopefully we'll buy over the next few years from the owners. So hopefully I'll be able to expand it into a 10 or 15 or 20 acre or larger parcel. But you can go ahead and get going by literally just renting something, doing more of like a mobile farming operation. Like you may want to do, annual crops, like or perennial crops rather, like tomatoes. Those are like you plant them, you rip them out type of crop. You might want to do animals, but you can definitely set up like a mobile operation where you're just leasing or renting the land. But once you can buy the land, that's obviously a sweet spot to be in. But if you can utilize a finance or a lease to own a deal, an owner financing deal, to allow you to start making improvements on the property, well, now you're building equity in the land and you're really off to the races. I mean, a big portion of our net worth has come from literally land improvements in real estate plays. And so it's just some ideas. I thought it was a good question. If you guys ever have any, any additional topics that you want to hear my thoughts on, write them in the comments below. I'm happy to do it. If that's helpful to you, let me know in the comments. If it's a subject you want to hear more on, I'd love to talk more about it. And until next time, guys, I will see you down there below in the comments. Peace.